Wow, check this out. It's big and gray and it's from Sony. It's a Sony Vaio. It was a garage sale find. I know it's ancient, but I got to admire the blue and gray design of this monster. It's a battleship, all right. With DVD and CD drives. From the broken flap from the bottom USB ports, we discover it's a model PCV RX 741. With an AMD Athlon processor, 512 megabytes of memory, 60 gig Ultra ATA hard drive, and software for movie making. This might have been a multimedia rig from the year 2002. And look at the layout in the back. Old school rules here, although the inclusion of the IEEE ports is rather interesting. Early digital camcorders had IEEE ports, so it was probably a good match at the time. Let's open this puppy up and take a look inside. It's an unusual setup with the power supply in the middle. I noticed the IDE drive was still in place, although it was disconnected. The power supply and the drive bay pull out fairly easily, revealing the motherboard below. It's a bit dirty down there. There's lots of PCI slots, but no PCIe or AGP slot for graphics cards, so we're really stepping back in time. And we have a motherboard number. Always good to know so you can check the stats against the manual. It appears that this is an Asus Micro ATX motherboard from about 2002. Apparently, the motherboard maxes out at 1 gig of memory, and with the socket A CPU, we're not looking at any hardware upgrades. Although the manual shows an AGP slot, it's missing on this model. But never mind that. You want to see this guy in action. Look at the dirt fly. We'll clean this up, reassemble it, and see what happens when we power it up. After replacing the dead BIOS battery and reconnecting the hard drive, it boots to Windows XP. And, oh dear, it's got old user data still on it. I've blurred out the startup screen, which included a login to Yahoo Messenger. Yes, there was an automatic password included. There are wedding and vacation photos and maybe some business documents, but I didn't look too closely. Remember, just because the computer doesn't boot anymore doesn't mean your data's gone. The latest file dates seem to end around 2015, so I'm guessing the BIOS battery died after 13 years of service and the system was abandoned. It's service packed too, and surprisingly snappy for its age and low hardware stats. Well, we can't use Windows XP anymore, so we're looking at either a DOS box of some kind, or maybe using a really light Linux distribution. But for the moment, we'll just delete the personal data and leave the operating system alone, because you never know when you'll need a Windows XP machine. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay curious.